Tensions have been building between the North and some Southern states over controversial topics like slavery and states' rights. This really began to come to an explosive point when Abraham Lincoln was elected President of the United States in 1860. Southerners were worried about what he would do and his direction he would take the country when it came to slavery. Many felt that a civil war was approaching, and that vision came true on April 12, 1861, in a port of South Carolina. On April 10th, General Beauregard of the Confederate Army demanded that Major Anderson surrender the Union-controlled Fort Sumter in Charleston Harbor, South Carolina. Beauregard had cannons and artillery aimed at the fort ready and waiting. Anderson refused, but was slowly running out of food and supply, so he had to do something. Word got back to President Abraham Lincoln, and he was forced with a decision. Was he to let the fort surrender and show weakness and recognize the South as a separated nation? Or would he fire upon Beauregard and his men and be blamed for starting the Civil War? Lincoln avoided both by notifying the governor of South Carolina, Francis W. Pickens, that he was going to send an unarmed supply ship for Anderson and his men. This put the burden in the Confederates' hands, and it did not take long for them to respond. On April 12th at 4:30 a.m., before the supply ship had even reached the port to deliver aid to Anderson and his men, Beauregard and his men bombarded Fort Sumter, forcing Anderson to evacuate and surrender the fort. This military action fired up support in both the North and the South for war, and Lincoln called up for 75,000 men to action. The firing on Sumter was the last straw for both sides, and the American Civil War had started.